ocean, wind, woods. There you see that.
Give me a little swig, just so I have something. I just brushed my teeth though. Woo.
That tastes good when you brush teeth. What the heck? I thought I put my hair in a different spot. I guess that I didn't, though. God, I'm white. This is ridiculous. I've even been using lotion to try and make me more tan.
What?
Yeah, it's supposed to gradually darken your skin. I don't know, I guess it's probably not working.
Imagine if we'd done this right the first time.
Oh, this is the second time we tried to film this.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be nice if we didn't screw up so much that we wouldn't have to refilm videos? Hello everyone and welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
board games
and
board gamey things.
Exactly. Guess what? We have filmed this video before. What?
Look me up with those bad
Yeah.
boys.
Guess what? We got Sour Patch Kids. And we have to refilm the video, and you're probably like, why you gotta do that? Well, because we weren't thinking straight, as sometimes you don't. And we accidentally covered two games that we covered in our last snapshot.
Look how crooked my finger is.
What happened to it?
I think it's always been like that, actually. That's messed up, huh?
Oh my god, look how white my hand is in comparison. Anyways, we forked up, so now we have to do it again.
Jamie forked up.
So don't worry about it, sweethearts, because we got a big bucket of Sour Patch Kids, and we out here to
I just
do it
brushed my
again.
teeth.
Ooh, bad combo. Oh, and it's a Board Games and Brew. Oh, and we're doing a board game snapshot.
Pacha.
Pacha!
Pacha!
Whoa!
Pacha!
You scared me. We're doing 5 mini reviews, and today the first review is Nestlings from Tangerine Games. Uh-oh, it's a prototype.
Can't tell.
How would you know? You never know. This portion of the video has been sponsored by Tangerine Games, so thank you to them for sponsoring this portion of the video. Now, Nestlings is a game about birds, nay,
Habitats.
ecosystems,
Habitats.
and habitats. So, in this game, it is a dice worker placement game. There's also objectives that you're trying to achieve. You're also collecting resources. It's got a little bit of take that, a little bit of being mean and stuff, and kind of a little bit of area majority.
Yep.
It's a lot of things. And it's got birds.
You just have birds.
Bleep, 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 bleep. That's my bird noise. Any hoozles, this game is coming to Kickstarter on June 20th, so if you're interested, you could check that out. Links will be down below. In this game, essentially what you're doing is you're populating different biomes with different types of resources, aka food types, so that you can feed your little breep breeps, your little birds, okay? Everybody has their own home biome. So you could be alpine, you could be wetlands, whatever it might be. And anytime you collect a resource from your home biome, it has to go to feed your babies.
Mm-hmm.
Be a good bird mom.
Because they want a specific type of food.
Good bird mom, not bad bird mom. The rest of the resources that you're collecting are being used to fulfill the different objectives.
Mm-hmm.
There are global objectives that are out, and there are also some private objectives. The game plays over 4 rounds, and you are basically going around collecting resources, fulfilling objectives, and gaining points. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. There's a bug in here.
Yep. That is one of the resources you
That
get.
is one of the resources.
A
The
bug.
main part of this game is you're putting dice out in order to control a certain biome. If you have the most dice in that biome, you get first pick. You get first dibs on the types of resources. And if you're the first person, you get to then remove one of the resources, one of the resource piles, so that the other players can't take it. So I could be looking at Jeff thinking, oh, he is trying to get crabs. Not today, okay? Take those crabs out.
Yep.
Take them out. Anyways, it plays over 4 rounds. It's a relatively quick, I would say, Definitely not medium weight. I'd say light medium. Not super light, but light medium. And I thought it was super fun. I do, however, think, and you probably agree, it does play 1 to 4. Haven't played it at 1 players. We played it at 2 players. I think this would play best at 3 or 4 players.
Yeah, I think so. Just with the bidding, not really bidding, but like the
area majority.
The placing dice for resources with the limited slots being available, it just would get a bit tighter at 3 or 4. And then competing for the global objectives, I think, would be a bit more cutthroat.
For sure. However, it was still a super enjoyable experience.
It was, yeah.
There is a lot going on. There is an advanced version where everybody's bird has like one special ability. It's like a one-time use. So depending on the biome type, the artwork is beautiful. The components that you're going to see in any B-roll are prototype. Some of them weren't finalized, but the components that were finalized, like all the colorful discs and the artwork and like the boards and everything, were really beautiful.
Yeah.
So if it sounds like something that you might be interested in, please definitely go and check it out. Like I said, all of the information in the description below. But if you like birds, look no further. Nestlings.
Yes, bird game.
Bird game.
Next up, we have a solo game. And here's a fun fact. It's only the second solo game I've ever played. We have Skytear Horde from Skytear Games, which was sent to us from Skytear Games, so thank you to them for sending it along. Skytear Horde is you can play it solo or 2-player. I've only played it solo, but in the 2-player variant, basically, one person plays as the Horde. One person plays as like the heroes trying to defeat the Horde. But there's also a cooperative 2-player variant, which is basically the Horde is coming and each person is playing as 2 different allies to cooperatively defeat the Horde. I would say this game is primarily a solo game, though.
Yeah.
In Skytear Horde, you are playing as heroes with card abilities and spells, and you're basically trying to fend off varying degrees of minions and monsters, the Horde, from attacking your castle. So this game is a castle defense game with a lane battler type element to it. In Skytear Horde, you are laying out heroes with corresponding monsters and battling each other in order to basically defeat and end a boss. As you're playing this game, your objective is to defeat the portal, which is, I guess, allowing the hordes to kind of come into your world, into your kingdom, while protecting your castle. You lose the game if your castle gets defeated. It is as stereotypical of a castle defense game that I've ever played. It's a mechanic that I very much enjoy. We haven't played a ton of tower defense games, and every time we do, we very much enjoy them. Jamie has played a little bit of this.
Yeah, we kind of took turns playing solo. Yeah,
she took a couple turns while I was playing my game. And what I would say is, if you like games like Marvel Snap or like Radlands, this is definitely something to check out. This is the deluxe version, so it comes with a playmat, which normally I wouldn't recommend deluxe versions of games, but I do think the playmat is really good. Similar to Radlands, to just keep things tight. And in certain slots and that sort of thing. But I very much enjoy Skytear Horde. I'm looking forward to playing it more. There's a bunch of different clans you can play as. There's a bunch of different monsters that can come out. This is one that I can see myself playing over and over again, which is rare for me because I'm not a solo gamer.
Yeah, I mean, I only played a couple hands of it, but I really enjoyed it too. One thing I wish is that it was cuter. But it can't always be. I would agree about the playmat, though. I think there's something about, like, dueling lane battler games, like when I think about Netrunner, Android Netrunner, Radlands, like, it just helps keep everything organized.
There's very limited card draw. So basically, after you start the game...
Like Res Arcana.
Which is another game I love. Yeah. With your hand of cards, after that initial hand of cards, the only time you're going to draw something is if you defeat a monster. So it's really like this give and take of like, is this card worth putting out right now? Is this ally worth putting out? in order to defeat this minion because I am going to get to draw a card. The other thing that I thought was very interesting is there's a pillage mechanic in this. So the other way you can lose this game is if your deck gets pillaged. So each round, there's a pillage phase, basically.
Freaking minions.
And if there's minions out on the board who you can't attack directly, their health total is what you're going to pillage off your deck. And you also lose, not only if your castle gets destroyed, but if your deck runs out.
Yeah.
So it's really this race against the clock of cards getting pillaged and you trying to defeat this horde of minions, and it plays very quickly. Like, there's a ton in this game that you can experience in a very limited time. And it was not overly difficult to learn. There's some great how to play videos out there. Definitely looking forward to playing it more.
All right, the next game that we are going to talk about is an old favorite, but in a new format. It's Azul in a bag. It's Azul Mini. Okay, so Azul Mini, this was sent to us for review from Plan B, so thank you to Plan B. Obviously, Azul is a game that we love. We have loved Azul forever. And this is just a tiny little version of it.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
So cute. I love anything that's smaller.
It also has like a little tiny recessed board.
So cute. You can literally, the entire game is in this bag. I am taking this wherever I go when I travel. If you are going like in the summertime to a patio, perfect. Anyways, so Azul Mini plays exactly like regular Azul. So for anybody, it's just Mini. For anybody that doesn't know about Azul, it is an abstract strategy game where you are kind of building out patterns on, it's essentially about tiles that have fallen to a factory floor, and you're building out patterns, and you're trying to score more points than everybody else. We absolutely love Azul. I am a big fan of Azul Mini. I actually
Don't say it.
I don't know if I'll play Big Azul. Okay, Big Azul has better chonky tiles. Yeah. I think if you're choosing between the two...
It's hard to replace those big chonky tiles.
Yeah, I know, but between
Even though these ones are the same material.
Yeah, but they're not as satisfying, because they're not as heavy. But between the two, if Azul is the game that you're going to play all the time, I would get regular Azul. But if you are looking for a game that you can take with you when you're traveling, like take it to the beach, because everything's plastic. Like you could get it wet and everything. Like I
wouldn't recommend getting it wet, but
you could if it rained or something.
You'd be right.
Anyways, if you love Azul and you are looking, it's just like, it reminds me of Hive Pocket. It's like if you love Hive, but you travel a lot, try Hive Pocket. If you love Azul, you travel a lot, try Azul Mini.
Fair.
So it's not really a super review because you guys know that we absolutely love Azul, but I guess that is a review, but I love it. And I just wanted to share how cute.
Next up from Bezier Games, we have Cat in the Box.
Yeah.
Cat in the Box is one we've wanted to try for a very long time. We purchased this from Lancelot Games. And with the Duelin Duet visiting recently, we finally got a chance to play it. Cat in the Box is a trick-taking game with a bit of a twist. So in Cat in the Box, you don't actually have colors associated with your cards. But what you do is have a little player card in front of you with 4 different colors on it. So anytime you play a card, say it's a 4, you would place that on one of the 4 sides to designate what color of that card you are playing out. So I might play 4 blue. And while I do that, there is a shared board between everyone with those 4 colors, as well as numbers 1 to 10.
1 to 9, but you use different numbers depending on player count.
So 1 to 9. So if I played a 4 blue, I would take one of my little cubes and place it on the blue 4 in the shared board.
Yeah.
Why is that important? Because in Cat in the Box, not only are you going to score tricks that you take, you're also going to score a bit of an area majority piece in the middle of the board. So if you get to put multiple cubes on this board in kind of an adjacency type pattern, you can potentially score those on top of your tricks. Another cool thing about this is red is always the trump suit.
Yeah.
So the red color is always the trump suit. And as cards get played out, that board is going to fill up. And if at any point you have cards in your hand that you can't play, Like, let's say, for example, oh, the only card left in my hand is a 4 blue, but 4 blue has already been played. I can't play the 4 blue. So what does that mean? That means a paradox has occurred. So at any point, if a player can't play their cards, a paradox happens, and that basically means they score nothing for that round. So it's this really interesting twist on trick-taking. I very much enjoyed it. I want to try it at a 4-player, I want to try it at a 3-player count because I felt like 4 was super tight. You can play this at 2-player, but in my opinion, I would not recommend it at 2. It just didn't play super well, even though like it technically did work. It just wasn't ideal.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of it at 2 players, but at 4 players, I loved it. And yeah, it's just really interesting because only one person can ever play a specific number. Like, only one person can ever play a 1 yellow. And at the very beginning of the game, you've got your hand of cards, and you get to shed 1 card from your hand. And you really want to take a card from your hand that you've got a lot of that number, because it is very likely that other people are going to be filling up that numbers, and you're going to get stuck with cards in your hand.
Right, that's a good point to make. So I probably injected some confusion.
When you said 4 blue?
When you play cards out in front of you, for some reason, if you can't or don't want to play the color that was led, like let's say Jamie led with a yellow. I can play a 4 down in the blue spot, but that means I can't play any more yellow the rest of the game, the rest of the round.
Done.
So if you can't follow suit, you lose access to that color. So that's where it gets really difficult later on in the round to play cards out because you're limiting what colors you're able to play.
Truth. Yeah. Super interesting, very unique trick-taking game. I really liked it. Last but not least is possibly one of my favorite games of 2023 so far. And that is Hooky from Rio Grande Games. And we got this from the Boredom Game Cafe. Ding! Where we went 2 times when the Doolins visited. So I did not know literally anything about Hooky. I saw it sitting on the shelf, and I picked it up, and I saw that it was about, like, kids and teachers and stuff, and Emily is a teacher, and I was like, oh, Emily might like this. A game of mischief and deduction. So, this game, very unassuming. Oh, what a cute game. It literally made our brains explode. Like, to the point where, like, I fudged up so bad the first time we played, we had to completely scrap it and start again. Basically, in this game, there are 26 cards. Each card is a kid, and each kid is associated with a letter. What you are trying to do is you're trying to deduce which 3 kids from the stack of 26 are playing Hooky. Right? Every person is going to have a hand of kid cards, and you are trying to determine what letters everyone has in their hands so that you can figure out which kids are missing from class. So you're doing that by asking people a 5-letter word. So I would ask Jeff as an example, what's 5? Jeff, apple. And Jeff might say 2. Now, Jeff is saying 2 because of the word apple, 2 of the letters in apple appear in his hand. But it could be 1 P, but because it's appeared twice, it's 2. So you're just trying to...
How many of my letters appeared in apple?
Yeah. So you're just trying to figure out what everyone has. You're marking things off based on what you already know, because I know the 5 letters I have. So I know these 5 kids are not in their hands, and I know these are not in the Hooky. For the first 3 rounds, you're also going to be revealing a kid card from the playground. They're not playing Hooky, they just stayed a little late for recess, okay? So you're figuring things out as it goes along. It plays over 6 rounds, and in rounds 4, 5, 6, you're starting to make some guesses that you are going to score points potentially on at the end of the game. Then the game will end, and everybody reveals who they think the 3 kids are, and then you reveal the 3 Hooky kids, and you see whether or not you're right. You're also going to score points for how many letters of each of your opponent's hands that you have guessed. It is just like, oh my god. It is kind of like Turing Machine, a little bit like Almost Innocent, which I know people don't have yet, but that's the same kind of feeling that you're going to get. It's like a Wordle puzzle deduction game, and it is fantastic.
Yeah. If you like those Wordle type puzzles, or like, you know, any sort of word play, definitely something to check out. The only downfall is that it's 3+.
Minimum 3 players.
Which does make sense given the mechanisms that are in the game.
Yeah.
But it is a word puzzle.
Yeah.
And it is very enjoyable if you really want to push that brain process.
Yeah, totally. Like, you're going to make leaps in logic, and you're going to get frustrated in this game because you're going to be like, now I'm totally screwed up because I was sure you had this, but then I asked you a word that I was sure you had a letter and you said no. And then you're like, are you sure? And it's just like, it's so easy to learn. Like, the game itself is very simple, but it is just like, it's going to get your brain juices going. Okay? Yeah.
I do enjoy when games, and we've talked about this on and off, I think, like on the channel and definitely off the channel, those games that like you play and then you leave and you're just still thinking about it like a couple hours later. Like, I very much enjoy that. And that is a good indicator that I really enjoy a game. And this one, I played it and I was just burnt out. And then I started thinking about it and I was like, I feel like I could do better next time.
I just want to play it again. So if you see this and you're like, well, that looks like a silly little game. Think again, friends. Don't walk by. Hooky. Hooky is fantastic. Yeah. Playing Hooky in real life is also fantastic. So those are 5 more games that we have been playing recently and what we think about them. We would love to know down below, have you played any of these games? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? Do you want to play some of these games? Let us know. We want to know. If you're interested in buying board games, like any of the many we mentioned today, with the exception of Nestlings, go away. There's a fly in here. With the exception of Nestlings, which you'll have to find on Kickstarter, launching June 20th, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that is...
the Boardroom Game Cafe.
Oh, heck yeah, it is. You like snacks?
I do.
Absolutely you do. Where do you find snacks again?
Munch Pack.
That's true. You want to find snacks from around the world? You sure do. We got a $5 off coupon. Boom. Check it out.
Enjoy those snacks.
Enjoy those snacks. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see,
please subscribe.
We hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye.
Later days.
Jeffy, do you want to go golfing for your birthday? What do you want to do?
I don't care about my birthday.
Yeah, but I do. What kind of cake do you want? Cheesecake?
Cheesecake or banana or coconut cream pie. Forever.
You need a night of Diablo. I don't know what you do for fun.
Skytear Horde. Now, I've heard this stated as Skytear on other videos.
Skytear.
But I think it's Skytear.
Skytear sounds better. I feel like 99% of people would say Skytear.
Michael Kelly, and today I'm looking at Skytear Horde, a 1- and 2-player solo and cooperative.
Introducing Skytear Horde, the card battler.
It sounds like you're saying tier with an accent. Skytear.
No, he said Skytear.
Introducing Skytear Horde, the card
I
battler.
got Skytear. Well, here's my first piece of feedback. It should be Skytear.
Solo experience that doesn't overstay its welcome. Here that I was very pleasantly.
Yeah, it's Skytear.
Let me start over.
You gotta start though.